living La Vida low carb. This show is changing lives. We talking about your diet, trying to get you feeling right. Cut up them avocados, fry some eggs. Time to explore the longest running health podcast, hosted by Jimmy Moore. Time to give up the crappy garbage. We're getting into ketosis. Every day is a new step to your goal. Yeah, you're getting closer, motivated and focused. Don't stop, just go. Time to get inspiration from the Living La Vida Low Carb Show. Hey, the livinglowcarbshow.com.
And here she comes, you guys. What was that? Oh, here she comes. Watch out, boys. See, I'm showing my age with that song. So
I love that song.
Yes, you are of the era of Hall and Oates, and so.
Yes, I love all that music.
Yes. So, guys, what?
How are you doing today?
Oh, we're just gonna jibber jabber. We're live. Yes, I'm great today. How are you today?
I'm awesome. I'm so psyched to be here.
Yes, thanks for being here. So, guys, this is my little spiel I do to start the show. So guys, that right there is Kristina Hess. Go check her out over on Instagram. Might be a little bit hard to see, but Kristina Hess, keto nutritionist. And so it's Kristina with a K, Kristina, Hess, and then keto nutritionist. And she is a licensed dietitian and clinical nutritionist. The woman stays busy all the time. Every time I'm like trying to reach her, she's like, "Oh, I got another client coming up." I'm like, "Oh, of course you do." Like, that's wonderful that you see lots of clients. And I want to get you on here today because you're hosting this symposium that's coming up September 25th, 2021. It's a virtual event. I was telling them before you came on the air that there's a lot of like live events, but not everybody can buy plane tickets and fly out and buy the tickets. And I mean, it's nice to see people, but sometimes you just want something that's affordable and you don't have to go anywhere and you get all the information. And that's what you created with the Keto Symposium. So go follow Keto Symposium over on Instagram and you'll get all the details. And it says, get your free tickets at...
Yeah, it doesn't get more affordable than free.
I was going to say, people, but guys, if you don't watch the Keto Symposium, what up? What is up with that? Like,
well, here's the deal: it's live. It's actually going to be a live day. It's not pre-recorded like virtual summits are, where they invite you to purchase yes, you can purchase this for $47 if you want the recordings because you can't attend the full day, but it's actually an opportunity to be live with you, with amazing influencers and educators. This is not sort of your boring medical conference day. Okay, yeah. Like, these speakers are not going to put you to sleep. These are all what I would call top-notch keto educators. And yeah, so we've got Maria doing an online...
Maria Emmerich, for the people listening on the podcast. She's talking about Maria. Although
she is Maria. I'm sorry, as far as I'm concerned,
kind of gotten
there is no other.
Kind of gotten share status at this point. Known by one name. Everybody knows when you say Maria, you're talking about Maria Emmerich. So.
Yeah, at least with the low carb peeps, you know, she's
well, yeah.
So yeah, Maria's doing a cooking demo. Will's gonna be there. Ben Azadi, Mindy
Dr. Will Cole. There's people listening on the podcast. They may not know who Will is.
Oh, sorry. Dr. Will Cole. Guys, go check over this amazing lineup at ketosymposium.com and just register for your free ticket. If you want to have your butt in a seat live in the New York area for 2022, this ticket's not going to get any cheaper. You know, the day the event happens, the price is going to double. So if you also want to come to the virtual event, be a VIP, get swag from our sponsors, have access to the cooking demo with Maria Emmerich, have the ability to ask questions in the Zoom, and have your butt in a seat for the cheapest price ever. Plus, we're also going to do a donation to cancer research.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's going to go to Dom D'Agostino's cancer research. So $97, like, doesn't get any cheaper than that to attend an event. So if you actually are jonesing to come to a really fun, fun event with really fun people and learn a lot and meet your peeps and get together in 2022 and also come visit New York City, you know, $97, but otherwise it's free.
Yeah, so what she's referring to, guys, is you can buy this package and then it gives you full access to all the videos this year plus the swag bag. And then next year, that's also your ticket into the event that will be live next year in 2022, which is a cool deal. Most of the conferences out there, from KetoCon to Keto, all of them, hundreds of dollars to attend. So yeah, that's definitely the cheapest I've heard of any conference. So good job on that. But
it's like I said, that price is not going to be valid beyond the day of virtual. Beyond September 25th, 2021, the price is going to totally change. So if you want,
which is why you're promoting it here today. So guys,
absolutely.
Yes. So let's back up a little bit, because you're not chump change yourself. You're going to be one of the speakers at your own symposium. So tell us a little bit about who you are. A lot of people may not know who you are.
Oh, I don't think anybody knows who I am, except in my little local.
It knows who you are. I know who you are because you're a good friend of mine. So.
Yeah. Yes. You are inner circle. But so I have a thriving private practice, and I myself went ultra low carb 4 years ago now because I was a pre-diabetic. How about that? And insulin resistant. So, you know, was doing triathlons, was doing CrossFit, all the exercise in the world. I was just getting chubbier and chubbier. And also, you know, had hit over 40 and things just changed. My body just, it just changed. Woo. So yeah, it was sitting, I'll never forget that even though I totally knew all about keto, I was one of those people who just, I had resistance. I had resistance to it. I didn't think it was sustainable. And I was sitting in a nutrition conference in 2017, and Professor Thomas Seyfried got on the stage and completely blew me away and changed my mind. And I mean, he was talking all about cancer as a metabolic disease. He really explained it and articulated it as if you were talking to kindergartners, which is kind of what you need to do, really simplify it. He explained that, you know, how cancer feeds on glucose, and that ketones are so toxic to a cancer cell. And basically a cancer cell, you guys, is making energy outside of the mitochondria where it normally makes energy. And so it's doing cellular respiration in this fermented way, and it requires glucose to replicate. And so he explained this so succinctly, and he said, you know, the reason why chemo works so well is because people are so nauseous, you know, from chemo. They're actually, you know, they're so calorically restricted and fasting. They're basically fasting. So he was the first person to advocate, that I heard, you know, advocating fasting before chemo. And I thought, wow, that's radical. And literally a week later, I was about to start working inside of an oncology practice in Manhattan. So I was texting the oncologist that I was working for, like, oh my gosh, my mind is exploding right now. And it changed everything. Like literally that month I started working with the oncologist's wife, and she had breast cancer. So she went on a ketogenic diet. I went on a ketogenic diet. I dropped weight, my blood sugar regulated. It was amazing. I was still able to train for triathlon. It was amazing how much hate and disdain I got from even my own triathlon coach about it.
And you were a dietitian, already trained as a dietitian at that point as well. So that had to blow the minds of your colleagues in the dietetics world, because they don't like keto. They make it very clear.
No, and in fact, I mean, they barely covered ketosis and the biochemistry of, well, okay, I learned about beta oxidation in school, but No, no, ketogenic diet as a protocol was only for epilepsy, only for epilepsy. And so hearing it was for all these other conditions in this nutrition conference was amazing. It was American College of Nutrition and
Yes.
the CNS, Board of Certified Nutrition
Which,
Specialists conference.
no, those are big boys. Those are like big conferences. And the fact they had someone of the caliber of Tom Seyfried talking about keto and its relationship to insulin connection to cancer. And that's really cool. Like, and I remember interviewing him on this show back in 2008, I believe it was, for the very first time. Really interesting guy when I was interviewing. And then he drops a bomb on me, baby, at the very end of the interview. He's like, yeah, Jimmy, if people want to prevent cancer, all they need to do is fast for 7 to 10 days using distilled water. And he's like, I was like, wait, what? And I was at the end of the interview, so my brain was already, okay, that's all the time we have for a little. And I was like, if you listen back, there's like 10 seconds of dead silence where I'm just like absorbing what he just said. But I did like start really getting interested in fasting at that point. Up to that point, I thought fasting was idiotic, starvation and all this stuff. But he was the one that convinced me to start like seriously looking at fasting. In fact, he put me in his fasting book, or his cancer book, all about my fasting attempt the first time. He did a little blurb, a little 2-3 paragraphs talking about my crash and burn trying to do a week-long fast.
Oh, well, yeah. And you guys, Jimmy's coaching me to do a longer extended water fast. And so stay tuned on that, because
Yeah.
I've never done extended water fasting, just, liquid fasting, supported fasting.
Well, and it was Dr. Seyfried that actually put it on my radar that doing the water fast is going to be far better. Now, he didn't mention anything about salt. I find salt with water. I don't think you need to do distilled water. I wasn't real sure what the point was distilled. I guess to get all the impurities out that could stoke hunger in the midst of a fast. I don't know. But yeah, salt and water is kind of the ultimate goal. I know people like bone broth, and when I first did it, it was bone broth, kombucha, and when I was still drinking diet soda, I did all the mistakes, so other people don't have to make them now, Kristina.
Yeah, that's good. I can't believe anyone in our space says that diet soda with aspartame or sucralose is okay.
Yeah.
And I've heard some people say it's okay, it's dirty, but it's okay. And it's really not, because that aspartame, you guys, biochemically converts in your liver to methanol and then formaldehyde. And then your liver has to make it benign and turn it into formic acid. So it's awful. And as you know, it creates insulin resistance and then ultimately can lead to Alzheimer's and other problems. But yeah, really bad metabolic waste is left behind by aspartame.
Well, and at this point, there's so many great stevia sweetened beverages like that, like Zevia, and I'm going to insult I don't mention, but there's plenty of them out there.
Yes, absolutely.
Or make your own home, like they have the little soda water machines that you can make at home. Put your own. Yeah.
Yeah, I think anything that you're making yourself and you know what's going in there, it's, the safest way to go.
Yes. Talk about that transition. Once you personally went keto and you experienced some great effects from that, you got pushed back a little bit from colleagues, but like, how did you transition from teaching low fat, count your calories, all the kind of traditional dietetics training, to now saying, okay, there's now other tools in my toolbox that I can use to help people? What was that transition like?
Well, to be fair, I have a CNS. I'm not an RD, and no disrespect, I don't know how RDs are trained these days.
I was reading
the CNS designation is aligned with the Institute for Functional Medicine. And Liz Lipsky was my academic dean. I had classes with her. She trains all the doctors who go through IFM.
What's IFM?
The Institute for Functional Medicine. So
spell it all out so people know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So thank you. And So I would say that my school where I went to had a very progressive approach. And, but still, I mean, you can't possibly learn everything you need to learn in school. And it's this ongoing education. Actually, uh, podcasts like yours and other people's are just so beneficial for bringing on experts in their own field. And then whenever you do have a specific interest, like I do now in nutrigenomics, there's so many other resources where you have to go, not necessarily school.
That is the benefit of living in the 21st century, is you have access to all kinds of resources that have never been available to people in the past. Trust me, if I had an iPhone when I was in high school and college, Johnny bar the door, I would have run. But yeah, anyway, you deal with what you got at the time you got.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I mean, I was always a fan of being grain free. I mean, I was paleo for years before, but I did have this stint at a plant-based company and was eating a lot more carbohydrate. Again, whole food carbohydrates, but they just clearly didn't agree with me. Right. Yes. It just wasn't really for me to have a lot of smoothies and grain bowls with beans and, so that was not for me.
I mean, look, there's some people that can be ketogenic even eating those things. Right. I hate those people because I can't.
Yeah, I hate those people too.
We get into that a little bit because insulin resistance really is kind of the X factor about what diet works well for you. I think we can all agree low-fat diets only work for a very small percentage of the population. I would say highly insulin-sensitive people, maybe 20% of the population, if I'm being generous, probably 10 to 15, but let's just say 20. But then a ketogenic diet can be good if you have insulin resistance or if you're insulin sensitive. There's really no harm, no foul. So why is a low-fat diet the default? Why isn't low carb keto more of a default to try to see where you stand?
Well, from a genetics perspective, and it's really epigenetics that epigenetics, you guys, like your diet and your lifestyle and how they impact your blueprint.
Yeah.
And that's the field of nutrigenomics. Is your genes don't dictate everything. It's really how you live that can turn things on or off. Now, with regards to fasting and ketosis, there are some genes that stand out that if you have variants on them, then you're going to have a harder time with keto. And most specifically, it has to do with PPAR. So PPAR alpha, PPAR gamma, these are transcription factors that help you utilize fats, and some people have severe variants on them, so they may have difficulty getting into ketosis. You also need to look at FADS. That is another one that is a conversion of omegas. Okay, and then I have my notes here too. I'm going to look. There's a deletion. There's a mutation that the Inuit have that keeps them from entering ketosis. Okay, it's called CPT1A. So CPT1A is a mutation that prevented ketosis, detoxified excess ammonia, and increased brown fat for warmth, and required consistent snacking to prevent hypoglycemia, and does still utilize gluconeogenesis, so making glucose from protein, despite the fact that their native diet is below the 10 grams of carbohydrate that,
Is the hypoglycemia a result of an excess production of insulin, or is there a glucagon issue going on there? Have you teased that out?
Haven't teased it out, but it is interesting that they had that genetic mutation to probably prevent fat loss.
Okay.
And they also have a deleted allele in the FADS1 and FADS2, which is the inability to convert plant omega-3 fatty acids. That makes total sense because there are very few plants way up there. So having more animal-based omegas would be better.
So I'm really curious. So you've just identified these various groups where maybe keto is a little less helpful. That's a very total population, though, those groups you just mentioned, right? Or can you quantify it?
Well, some people, let's say if you do have a variant on PPAR, you can take L-carnitine to help
mitigate.
To mitigate it. It's always, what's helpful on nutrigenomics is identifying sort of these nutraceuticals and bioactive compounds that will help, right? It's not, oh, it's all doom and gloom. It's what do you need a little more of to support? And
right.
I'm obviously a huge fan of low carb for, just about everybody.
Having a hard time reaching my goal weight.
Just use Keto Chow, the magical meal replacement that makes keto easy. Prep takes seconds. Just add the fat you want, Keto Chow, water, and shake. And before you know it, you'll be getting rid of the fat you don't want.
I did it!
Jimmy loves KetoChow.com.
There are some other interesting ones that can be looked at. There's BDNF and, of course, ApoE that pretty much everyone's familiar with.
ApoE.
Yes. FTO has to do with ghrelin and hunger. There's a lot of interesting there's all the saturated fat ones, and there's some some folks that don't do well on saturated fat, and again, those are variants. So it's just about understanding where people can optimize.
Well, and see, this is very advanced today. So those of you that came for a light little conversation about the Keto Symposium, we'll get back to that in a minute. But here is pretty advanced what Kristina's getting into. And I love that phrase. I think Mark Sisson was the one that came up with this, that genetics loads the gun, but epigenetics fires it. And that's why you can see, like, you can influence what those genes do. You could just have a loaded gun and never fire it, and you're good. You just kind of...
Well, it's like you could be Usain Bolt. You could have the genetics, the potential to be the fastest person in the world, but if you never get off the couch, you're not going to find out.
This is true.
That's
a deep one, Kristina. It's just potential till you show me the money.
It's just all potential. It's all potential. And that's why, I'm fascinated. I really want to know all my biochemistry. I've run all the labs. I mean, there's every kind of lab that you can do under the sun, which is so much fun. And then I hear sometimes people are just terrified of, hearing potentially that they might have some wonky gene or something, but it's just potential.
Well,
and even having a BRCA gene doesn't mean you're gonna get cancer. Like, just having a couple of bummer genes, and I have plenty of bummer genes. Trust me.
Right.
It doesn't mean I have all the genes that indicate I should be very obese. Very.
Right, and you're bucking that trend. You're still fighting it.
I'm fighting it all the way. Right. You got to fight. You just got to be in the fight.
Well, and I think, sometimes people don't even know that they have genetic predispositions. They just say, well, because I have obesity, because I have type 2 diabetes, and grandma and uncle and aunt all had diabetes, therefore I have a genetic predisposition, nothing I can do about it, and they just give up. And I know you talk to clients like that every single day, kind of get them off of the genetic bandwagon to explain epigenetics.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing. But what direction and the nuances, right? Like, Mediterranean diet is very popular, but Mediterranean protocol is great, really, if you have that far ancestry.
Yes.
It's not for everybody.
Created by Ansel Keys, ironically, if people didn't know that.
His version, right? You can do a wonderful Mediterranean ketogenic that has zero pasta, right? I mean, those are all my favorite foods. I grew up in Italy, so
Ah,
I love me some beautiful seafood and olive oil and all like the mussels and
I went 2 years ago and I thought I liked mozzarella cheese until it was at every single meal from the breakfast every meal. And I was like, I got home. I don't think I ate mozzarella cheese for 3 months.
you OD'd on mozzarella.
I love mozzarella cheese, but I was like, all right, that's too much.
Oh, that's funny.
What part of Italy?
Milan.
Okay.
Milan, and then I did a junior year abroad in Bologna, which is sort of the food capital. It's sort of that middle of the road, right between. So bolognese sauce, that's from Bologna.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. It's got the oldest university in the whole world. So it's a medieval city.
Yes. If people can ever travel again and internationally, definitely Italy is a great destination, and Rome was just amazing to me. But we can sit here and talk all about Italy and
yeah, that'd be a hard pivot.
but here we go. I want to talk about the cuisine of Italian, even some Asian kinds of cuisine, Mexican, because I know when you talk to your clients, they're like, I really like Italian food. How do I keto-fy? And I'm thinking there's just so many really good recipe makers. Maria Emmerich, we mentioned her earlier. There's bunches of them out there now. Just fine. There is a recipe. There's a carnivore version of all these kind of recipes. Carnivore pizzas there right now. So how do you help your clients?
So, I mean, Mexican is super easy, right? You can go out for the steak fajitas and just have a little guacamole and just say no to the chips. Ask for some veggies to dip in your guacamole. And leave the rice and beans, behind.
There's a Mexican restaurant around the corner from here. It's called California Mexican. And they have like fresh vegetables. They like big chunks of vegetables in there, not the gloppy mystery meat with the vegetable. It's actually real good stuff. And then they have it California style, which it has like this melted cheese on top. Yes. And just skip the beans, the rice, the chips, be the weirdo, ask for extra guac and sour cream, and you're good to go.
Absolutely. And then with Italian, I always go for fish. There are a lot of beautiful chicken dishes too, but I'm sort of these days I'm leaning towards a lot more fish in my diet. And
although most Americans don't hear Italian and think fish.
Also true.
They think pasta bowls, and bread. So how do you get them? Is it just the keto pizza kind of recipes that are out there? Fathead?
No, not pizza. No. What people don't realize with Italian food is that the Italians are masters of sauces and making and beautiful tomato-based things fresh. So really, when you eat pasta, it is a delivery mechanism for your sauce.
That's right.
It is just, it's all about the sauce. So
what do you use?
So have a beautiful piece of fish, have a beautiful salmon, or you can do mussels that are cooked in, just their broth, or, clams, or did I say salmon already? Shrimp scampi. That's an Italian dish.
Yeah.
So there are plenty of beautiful, and you could, or like a tomato feta or tomato mozzarella, kind of a summertime caprese salad. Those are good too.
Oh yeah, caprese is the bomb diggity, and I love those, especially when I had fresh tomatoes in my garden. And just get some fresh mozzarella, and then the olive oil, which I get mine from Italy. I have this company called the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Company. They just send me a whole bunch of olive oil every quarter. I think I gave you some bottles when you came to visit me. The olive oil.
That's one thing. That's one thing you didn't give me. Jimmy loaded me up with just about everything.
How did I not give you?
But I didn't get olive oil.
I always, because I'm mostly carnivore, so I mean, I'll eat it. I'm not that anal retentive about carnivore, but I don't usually have plant-based oils, and so I'm surprised I didn't. I just had some friends come a couple days ago, and I gave them.
You loaded me up with some Paleo Valley sticks, which were super helpful on my long car drive.
Yes.
So, yeah, and you guys, Jimmy has chickens. He's got such a cool setup.
Yeah, I love my house. Although the air is out in my recording studio, so I'm sitting here sweating like a dog doing this interview. I and they'll be here.
It's natural sauna.
Yes, like I'm getting the opposite of cold thermogenesis. I'm getting saunogenesis, I guess.
So I'm curious if whoever is on live, I would love to hear if any of them are planning to attend Keto Symposium.
Yes.
Jimmy is our MC. He's going to introduce all the speakers, and he knows everybody. So, if Jimmy is going to be there, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, because when you said, "Hey, you want to MC?" and I'm like, "Okay, as long as I'm not like have to be boring."
No.
Invited to speak at places, and they're like, "Oh, it's for CME," so you kind of tone down the, I don't know, Jimmy, and I'm like, how do I do that? Like, that's just who I am.
Yeah, this whole event is influencers, podcasters, YouTubers, authors, so really fun educators that know how to teach, how to teach interesting concepts, and that's that's why. Oh, good, Norma's Beacons. I will definitely be there. Awesome.
Norma is one of my very strong followers. Norma, I'm not surprised you're going, my dear.
Yeah, Norma, I look forward to there. So you, like, Jimmy will be interacting with those of you who are registered and in the Zoom, and saying hi. So like we'll all be able to see each other, and because it is live and not pre-recorded.
Yeah. So guys, those of you that came in late or you missed it, we're talking to Kristina Hess. She is a keto nutritionist, and she's got this event coming up on September 25th, 2021. That's a Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's a Saturday, and it is live.
I'm sorry, what?
It is live, so you got to kind of block out your day, and we start at 8:30 Eastern, and we're going to go to about 4 o'clock Eastern. So you still have plans for your Saturday night. All good. It's not going to interfere. We're going to have some breaks too, but if you want to be a VIP and have lunch with Maria Emmerich while she's cooking, then you'll need to have a VIP ticket, and then that'll also include an in-person seat for 2022, a super early bird ticket for 20.
And that's the $97 ticket you're talking about.
$97 doesn't get any lower than that.
Lowest. That's literally the lowest you'll get at any conference I've ever been to. So
yeah, we're basically giving it away.
Keto Symposium over on Instagram. Go check her out, ketosymposium.com. I will remind you, it is a free event. So if you just show up that day and you just want to watch if you just want to watch Jimmy introduce people and then hear the people speak, I'm actually giving a talk as well. I think we're still working on what the talk is about. Maybe the trauma I think you wanted me to talk about. But anyway, we'll talk about that off the air. But
yes, we'll talk about the air. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. Hope you go check it out. And yeah, we got a few minutes left. If you have any questions for Kristina, she is a keto expert and knows her stuff when it comes to ketogenic diets. We would love to have you ask questions.
You guys tried the Paleo Valley beef sticks? These beef sticks are 100% grass-fed and grass-finished. And many of the grass-fed beef sticks on the market today are actually finished with grains. They use beef sourced from small domestic farms in the United States. They only use real organic spices to flavor the beef sticks versus all the conventional spices sprayed with pesticides and other natural flavors from GMO. They also ferment the sticks, which creates naturally occurring probiotics, all great for your gut health. And best of all, they taste amazing. Again, they're Paleo Valley, my favorite beef stick on the market today. Go check them out, you guys. PaleoValley.com. Use the coupon code Jimmy at checkout for 15% off your first order. Paleo Valley beef sticks.
Yeah, so So what made you kind of want to do this event? Because there's so many events already out there. Why add another one?
There's nothing in the New York area. There's
Oh,
no
location
keto event.
talking about. It's the
Sorry?
location. That was the reason, the
The
location.
location.
Okay.
Yeah, and so for us Northeasterners, there's just like not a lot available, and that was the impetus. I thought, well, just my clientele alone could benefit from this kind of event, and there are so many thousands and thousands of people doing keto and low carb that it just seemed like a no-brainer to not have to, as you say, travel to Texas for KetoCon or Metabolic Health Summit in LA.
Right.
Sometimes it's costly to travel. So if you are in the New York tri-state or New England area, this is definitely a no-brainer for you. But if you're an Easterner and you want to drive up,
Yeah.
also it's going to be well worth your time.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not discouraging. The more the merrier conferences. I just was curious what the thinking is. So yeah, you're right. Other than Keto Fest, which takes place in Connecticut, which is pretty close to New York City, there's really nothing that's been up there. So kudos to you for having the foresight and the, oh my God, what did I get myself into kind of nonsense in your head. It's what did I do? Because it's more work than people realize.
It's a ton of work. This is a passion project. It's my day is spent as a clinician and working with folks, getting them healthier. But yeah, I just thought, let's spread this message. This is a great way to do it. And a lot of things, sometimes it's better not to know how difficult it's going to be. Otherwise, you would never get started. You just got to go on some faith and just go with your ideas and be courageous. And that's what this was. And unfortunately, COVID shut us down, and we had to reschedule, and we've had to reschedule 3 times. That's why it's virtual, just because where we are is, even though it's open back up, it's pretty strict rules. So couldn't take the chance that people wouldn't show in person. And but really hoping, yay, upstate keto girl, Rochester in the house. So you're coming, right? Hopefully you're going to get the 97 VIP ticket, come to the virtual, come see you in person. Yeah, I mean, there's so many of us out there, and like you, I mean, I'm craving to be with my people, just want to hang out, want to meet more people in this space. Like, where's my tribe?
I mean, that's what we've all been starved for. And before you came on the air, I was telling people, like, look, there's lots of in-person events coming up, August, September, October, like all fall. There's just going to be a crap load of them all over the country. Yours would be the only one in the Northeast, because I'm not aware of any there. There's a lot in Florida, a lot in Texas and California. So there are plenty. And you and I are actually going to be at Las Vegas for an event in October. You're speaking. I'm just going to be there. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, you're right. We're all missing each other and that community. I mean, we're more than just rallied around a common belief in a diet. We're friends. Like, a lot of us know each other, and people often tell me that when they meet me for the first time, they feel like they're meeting somebody they've known for years because they've heard me on my podcast. You were that way when you met me. And we instantly bonded, and it was good. And yeah, so I think we're all needing that so bad.
So bad. I mean, who else on here is interested in meeting other keto people and not just talking to them online?
Yeah. Well, and going back to your bravery in starting this, I did the low carb cruise for 13 years.
Right.
But I was in my wheelhouse because I had a partner who did all the signups, and then I did all the emceeing and what Jimmy does. and it was good. And we kind of found our niche and found our voice and averaged, several hundred people every year. I don't do that event anymore, but it was fun while it lasted. And yeah, and I would do it again. And I'm even thinking of like other ideas for conferences, even apart from keto. Shh, haven't announced that anywhere yet. We're working on that behind the scenes. Yeah, always thinking.
Fun. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, as Tony Robbins says, if you're not growing, you're dying. So, it's all about progress. Like, keep your life in progress, in motion.
Yeah. Yes. Progress, not perfection, I think is the little.
That's my favorite saying. Progress, not perfection.
So guys, go to ketosymposium.com. Check her out over here on Instagram as well. Keto Symposium is the username. And she is, of course, the lovely Kristina Hess. Go check her out on Instagram as well. Kristina Hess, Keto Nutritionist. Again, it's Kristina Hess, Keto Nutritionist. Long ass name, girl. We got to... But I guess we know who you are by that description in your username. So.
Yeah, I also have another account.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of more my private account, but it's Thrive19.
Thrive19.
Yes, because my practice name is Thrive Results Coaching.
Yeah.
So
website is, and so her website is also theketonutritionist.com. If you want to hire her as a coach, I think she's a wonderful. Yeah. She's always hella big. So you don't need new clients, I guess, but yes, you do. So
yeah, or you can find me at thriveresultscoaching.com. The Keto Nutritionist site is still got some lumps and bumps that I'm working on.
One more time on the Thrive website again.
So it's thriveresultscoaching.com.
Thrive.
If people want to work with me, yes. Thank you.
thriveresultscoaching.com. I have to stop talking because we can't hear each other at the same time. So I stopped talking so I can hear you. thriveresultscoaching.com is that website, guys. Go check her out. But Kristina, I got to get out of this sauna. I am burning up. And I've got lights on me at the same time. So that doesn't help with the heat either. So.
Well, you gotta have the right lighting, my friend,
I think I figured out podcasting, except when my air goes out, then I have to wing it a little bit. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for joining us.
Guys, thank you for being here as well. Jimmy gonna go to the other building and cool off because it's
no hot tub for you today.
No, I need a cold thermogenesis. I got ice bags on the front porch. Maybe that's what I need to do is get in an ice bath right now. That would be awesome.
Yes. You can buy those big tubs where you pour ice into it and to shoot video of that. That would be fun to watch.
People do the deep freeze. I mean, I'm a big boy, very tall and big boy. So I've looked into some of those and I can't get my big butt in there. So I gotta figure out one I can get into.
I watched Mike Muscle do some videos of that. Oh. It always fascinates me to watch other people get into those ice baths. Yeah. They're very brave. Speaking
Mike uses this humongous bucket that he gets in and like submerges himself in it. I'm like, woo, that would be probably ideal for me if I could get the bucket big enough for me to, like I said, crawl in there and then go down low.
Have you studied any Wim Hof stuff?
Yes.
Apparently you have.
Oh. That always gets me. I always start getting dizzy right away.
We got to do that before you get into any ice, right?
Well, yeah, and I've done the ice bath. This is the interview after party, those of you still sticking around. So, yeah. I need some music playing. Alexa, play. Yeah. Oh, wait, she turned on. I better stop that. Nothing. Stop. She's like, what do you want me to play?
But, guys, this is what Keto Symposium is going to be like. Woo, woo.
Actually, I should probably have music playing in the background. And now the next speaker is hailing from Minnesota. Yeah.
Yes.
It'll sound like a wrestling match. And this corner, coming in at 110 pounds.
Dan Beeler's enjoying our party, so thank you.
Yes. Dan, ask a question. Anybody still here? I got Kristina for a few more minutes if you want to just jibber jabber with us. We both
Are
know.
you guys curious about organic acids testing, toxin testing, heavy metals testing? Because I'm a total geek on all the testing.
While you do an interview, like, yeah, talk about. I am literally glistening. You can see the sweat.
Or we can talk about how we are part of the Keto Singles group, and we're looking for our special. Like, you're looking for your queen, I'm looking for my king. Yeah, my king needs to be a skier.
Yes. I'm
Yes.
not gonna sing for love in all the wrong places. See, the heat has made my brain go delirious, and so you never know what's going to come out of my mouth in this state.
Yeah, well, looking for love in all the wrong places is definitely a bad idea.
I remember that song because I was in high school, and my dad. I hate country music because of this, but my dad in his restaurants had country music playing overhead, and so I remember that song was one of the popular ones in the late '80s when I was still in high school. And so it just stuck in my head. Looking for love in all the wrong places. All right, so Dan has.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I just saw that.
I know. See, I can run this show. I know how to do this. He says, I have a reluctant 13-year-old girl who wants to get off and minimize the meds for epilepsy. So any advice, looking for a program or coach?
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Kristina can help.
Yes, I can help. And the thing is adherence, right? And so it's, yeah, Dan, I absolutely, that's what I do. I do one-on-one personal work with people.
We're all telling them that just eat low glycemic, but that's not enough. Sometimes it's nuanced other things. And like, look, of all the conditions in the world that we have strong evidence for, a ketogenic diet having efficacy, it's epilepsy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So Dan already knows that. He probably just is looking for execution tips, and then father is absolutely working against her. Oh, is that you?
No.
Your boyfriend of mom. Got it. That's tough. That's a tough situation, Dan, because, yeah, you need it. I would get, personally, I would get all parents on the phone. Also, yes. I would be talking to both parents, because when you're working with children, you have to work with the whole family. So, one of my strengths is being able to articulate why, explain the importance, the health determinants of everything. And so, yeah, that's what I would do. Is it wouldn't be just working with you and mom, it would be working with dad too. Right. And why it's meaningful and what she's going to get out of staying compliant. So.
But Dan, thank you for that question. So Kristina, what's your day look like the rest of the day? Are you hella busy as usual?
So I blocked out most of my day, so so I could chat with you. And yeah, I do have. Is it? Oh, yep. In about 10 minutes, I have my next appointment.
Yes.
So
my spidey senses made me think. Okay, she blocked off 1 hour for this.
I did block off an hour for you.
Yes, I know you well enough at this point. So.
Yep, you do.
Yes.
That's what's happening.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Okay, sorry. You cut out. You went black for a second, so I didn't realize that you were still talking. Okay.
Technology.
Yes. Where do we put the... All right, I'm going to stop being silly. I really need to cool off because I am literally overheated right now. So you can see the red on my...
Yeah, it looks dang hot where you
Yes,
are.
it's hella hot right now. So thank you, Kristina.
Get inspiration from the Living La Vida Low Carb Show. Hey, the livinglowcarbshow.com. Woo!
Real Good Foods is one of the fastest growing frozen food companies in the U.S. Everything they make is nutrient dense, high in protein, low in carbs, and made from real food ingredients. Instead of using processed flours, everything they make is 100% grain-free and gluten-free, which is how they keep their carbs so low. They can be found at Costco, Walmart, Target, Kroger, and in almost every grocery store nationwide. Or you can order online. Check us out today at realgoodfoods.com and at realgoodfoods on social media.